you're someone who's ambitious, but no matter what you achieve, you still feel kind of empty inside, this video is for you. Early in my career, I built a successful business. I became financially free. I even got invited to speak at Stanford, which I'll tell you about in a moment. But the truth is, none of these things felt nearly as good as I thought they would. The moment I achieved something, my mind would jump to what's next, the next goal, the next milestone, the next level that would finally make me feel complete. But eventually I start to ask myself, what's the point of building a successful life if you don't even let yourself enjoy it? And everything changed once I realized that the skills we need to achieve success are completely different than the skills required to actually enjoy it. So in this video, I'm going to share with you a counterintuitive shift that forever changed my relationship with success and how you can deeply enjoy the life you're working so hard to build. When I was growing up, I had a dream of going to Stanford University, also known as the Harvard of the West Coast. And by the time I was 17, I was one of the top swimmers in the country, so I felt like I had a shot of getting a swimming scholarship at Stanford. I emailed the coach there, we emailed back and forth a few times, and I really felt like this could happen. But one day I got an email from him saying, sorry Phil, we gave the spot to the California state champion in butterfly, so it's not gonna work out for you. I remember sitting in the basement of my mom's house, staring at my computer screen, and I was so dejected and sad. It felt like my dream had just died. But right there and then, I made a vow to myself. I said, I might not be a student there, but one day I'm gonna be a speaker at Stanford. So a few years went by, I worked hard, I built a business, I did all these things, and eventually I got invited to speak at Stanford. So I flew out to Palo Alto, was walking around campus. It was so beautiful. It was even more beautiful than I had imagined. And I really felt like I was living my dream. I got to give the speech. It went pretty well. I was a little nervous, to be honest, but did a good enough job. And for about a day or two afterwards, I was like, oh my God, I did it. I spoke at Stanford. I achieved this thing I had in mind for years. But then about 2 days later, it was like, okay, I did it. What's next? And I started focusing on the next milestone. And I remember thinking it was weird that something I had dreamed of for years would only fulfill me for about 2 days. And so after this first round of success early in my career, I actually decided to take some time off and step away from business and all that. I went to spend a month in Peru with the shamans. I moved to a small town in the mountains of California named Ojai. And for the first time in years, I actually slowed down. And I took some time to reflect on my life and what needed to change so I could actually enjoy the journey I was on. And something became very clear to me. The traits as ambitious people that allow us to have success actively work against our ability to enjoy life. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you're focusing on the future. Well, that's going to help you set some goals and achieve them, but it's actually going to get in the way of you enjoying the present moment. If you have dissatisfaction with the status quo, you're going to be driven and motivated to change your life, but it's going to make it really hard to be contented with what is. And if we're always optimizing, and it might help us with growth, but that slowly erodes our ability to have spontaneity, play, magic, things like that. So you can see how there's this dynamic tension between the things that make us achieve and the things that make us enjoy life as it is. And it's when I was in Ojai reflecting on this that I had this uncomfortable realization. If I kept putting achievement as my number one priority in life, sure, I would probably achieve more, but I might never arrive at a place where I could enjoy what I had. And I realized that fulfillment isn't derived from achievement alone. Actually, fulfillment comes from a combination of achievement and the ability to savor the success we've built. So over time, I built this little formula that's really simple, but really useful. Fulfillment equals achievement times enjoyment. And the best way to visualize this is through something I call the surface area fulfillment. So you can imagine a graph where on the vertical axis, you've got achievement, and on the horizontal axis, you've got enjoyment. And your fulfillment is the surface area that you cover on that graph. So let's say we take someone who's ultra successful, but super stressed out, disconnected, can't be present in the moment. That person might have a 10 out of 10 on achievement, but a 2 out of 10 on enjoyment. So their surface area of fulfillment is small, it's 20. Conversely, you could take someone else who is a little bit less successful, say an 8 out of 10 on achievement, but their ability to enjoy their life is also an 8. Well, now you're looking at a surface area of 64, and this person, although externally less successful, will be tremendously more fulfilled and satisfied with their life. Now, ultimately, I really believe we can expand in both directions, both in achievement and enjoyment. And personally, that's the game I'm playing, and that's what I want to help you do on this channel as well. But for us ambitious people, expanding in achievement comes naturally. That's the thing we obsess over. So what I want to do now is share with you 3 strategies that have made a huge difference in my life to help me enjoy the level I'm at more. And I sincerely believe it can really help you increase your quality of life as well. Number 1, make time for joy. So if we want to enjoy our lives more, it makes sense that we should start by making more time for joy, right? But here's the truth. When we're ambitious, our natural tendency is to allocate a lot of time to being locked in, to building, to planning and strategizing. And let's be honest, that feels really good, actually. It's really rewarding, and that's part of why we do it. But that's only one form of nourishment. And there's another one we need, which is moments that are solely devoted to savoring life, to laughing and playing and connecting, to relaxing. And it's super important in those moments to have no agenda to be productive or to improve ourselves or to move forward towards our goal. No, that's not what it's about. So for example, when we're spending time with friends or with our family, when we're doing hobbies, going out in nature, going dancing, playing sports, going to concerts, traveling, whatever, right? There's this amazing menu of life of things we can explore. For me personally, these days, I'm playing a lot of hockey. I know, very Canadian of me, and I'm loving it. I'm also doing a lot of ecstatic dance, which feels amazing to kind of flow and move my body in different ways and connect with different kinds of people. And I'm spending time in nature almost every day. Springtime here in Canada is so beautiful. Nature's fully alive, so I'm enjoying that a lot. Now, whatever it is for you that brings you joy, that brings you aliveness, here's my invitation. Make time for it. And if you need to, block it out in your calendar and commit to it. And if you have any guilt around relaxing and enjoying life while you haven't achieved your biggest goals, then I want you to know this. Those moments of joy and relaxation, they will actually fill you back up and they will help you recover. Because as humans, we're not meant to be switched on all the time. It's impossible. So give yourself permission to have joy, to have relaxation, and you'll be able to come back to work sharper, more rested, and more effective. Number 2, train your appreciation. A few years ago, I spent a month in Dubai, and one day I went to the highest 360-degree infinity pool in the world. I was so excited because I love beautiful spaces, I love beautiful views, and honestly, I like having unusual experiences. So I made my way up to that pool, and it was stunning. Like, for real, one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. And I was there by myself, so I figured I would go around the pool, make some friends, connect with people, and share joy together. And when I got there, something really surprising happened. The people didn't seem like they were having a very good time. People were taking a lot of selfies, they were making content, they were messing on their phone. But honestly, I was stoked. I was so grateful to be there. And I was looking for other people to connect with on that vibe, and I just couldn't find them. And what I realized is that here were people that were successful, that were wealthy, because it was pretty expensive to go up there, and they were making time for joy, but they didn't have the ability to appreciate the moment. And honestly, that is way more common than you would realize with successful people. So when you are in those moments of joy that we talked about earlier, give yourself permission to be fully there. Put your phone away, don't worry about documenting or creating content, and allow yourself to just soak up the juice of this moment, to savor this experience that you're in, because that's what it's for. And what you'll realize is that appreciation is like a muscle. The more you train it, the more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. And all of a sudden, you'll be able to appreciate the small things of life, like a nice bite of food or a smile or a hug, and your life will get a lot richer without even needing to change anything. There's so many moments of joy that are available that we don't capture because we haven't trained ourselves to do that, but you absolutely can practice that starting today. Number 3, stop comparing yourself to others and to your future self. So you've probably heard the expression, comparison is the thief of joy. And honestly, that's true. In this era of social media, it's even more prevalent because the moment you jump on Instagram, you can always find someone who seems more successful than you, more attractive, like they're further ahead. But here's the truth. When you look at other people's lives, you're seeing the highlight reel. When you're looking at your life, you're looking at the behind the scenes footage. And the reality is that you only see what they show you, but you see your messiness, your insecurity, your doubts. You see the whole gamut. So it's really apples and oranges. And I can tell you, having spent a lot of time with successful and wealthy people, that they have their doubts and their insecurities and their mess. We're really all the same underneath the surface, but on social media, it distorts that vision. So for me, it's one of the big reasons why I stepped away from social media years ago and honestly haven't missed it at all. And I really invite you to stop comparing yourself to others and to really make an effort not to, because it really doesn't serve and it just creates a lot of suffering. Now, there's another form of comparison that we engage in oftentimes without realizing, which is comparing yourself with your future self. And for a lot of ambitious people, there's this unconscious belief that I'll relax when I've achieved my big goal. I'll be happy when I've made this much money. I'll finally feel fulfilled once I've achieved this thing. But here's the reality. Your future self is a moving target. You're never gonna catch up to it. And meanwhile, your life is happening right now. And there are so many things that are present in your life right now that just a few years ago were dreams, were things you were hoping and praying for. Now they're here. So let yourself feel that, let yourself enjoy that, and give yourself permission to appreciate your life today while you're building the next chapter. So ultimately, I'm not saying ambition is wrong. I love success. I love setting goals and achieving them. And I love building and growing. There's really nothing wrong with that. But there's no point in postponing our enjoyment of life to some future date, because our life is happening right now. So let yourself savor your time with your friends and your family. Let yourself have fun when you're doing your hobbies or you're playing sports. And when you're out in nature or having amazing experiences, really soak up the wonder and the awe of what you're experiencing. And the truth is that will give you even more juice, more life force. So when you get back to work, you'll be focused, you'll be inspired, you'll be able to give yourself fully to your goals. So yes, keep building, keep striving, keep achieving, but don't let that get in the way of enjoying the beautiful life that's available to you right now. So on this note, I wish you to enjoy the journey, enjoy the ride, and I'll see you in the next video.